YouTube! Welcome back to a very special episode of Maxwell Star's Beer Review. Tonight, for episode 250 of my beer review channel, we're going to take a look at an extra special treat that was brought back to me by Iced Almighty from Halifax of Nova Scotia. This one, I'm exceptionally excited to try. This is one that many Canadian beer drinkers, beer tubers, have been dreaming to try ever since they probably first heard about it on the Canadian Beer News last winter. Now it's technically spring, I better get this thing out of my fridge, but as a special collaboration between the Heart and Thistle Brew Pub, run by the famous brewmaster Greg Nash, who is responsible for such great beers as Garrison Imperial IPA, Pump House SOB, and the Big Tide Tidal Wave Double IPA. Special Heart and Thistle collaboration with the Propeller Brewing Company came out with, there's for Heart and Thistle, Propeller Brewing, the Imperial ESB Collaboration Ale. This is an extra special bitter brewed to Imperial strength. And, oh my god, I know that Greg Nash is a brewing genius, so I'm exceptionally excited to try this because who knows what he's done with it, because everything else he's touched has turned to gold. So, let's pop the cover on this special bottle and see if she's any good. Standard Propeller cap. Obviously it was bottled at the Propeller Brewery. Probably brewed there too. Heart and Thistle Brew Pub, Heart and Thistle Gastropub is a little... They brew their own beer, but it's kind of like Big Tide in a way. I don't think they do growlers just yet, but it's just... They sell beer at the place there. And sell food, and that's it. They don't bottle their own beer. They just simply... Patrons come in, try their selection of beers, and, you know, carry along their way. As for bringing home any beer, nope. Let's pour this in my Alexander Keith's glass, another brewery from Halifax. Boy, that's dark for an ESB. Should mention this thing comes in at a whopping 8.5%. A little bit left in the bottle, and hold her steady while the head goes down. Very, very big head on it. Wow. Oh, I can smell that. Let's get a look at the color while we're waiting. Very cloudy, hazy brown. Almost like a ruby amber with a subtle amount of like a caramel orange color to it. Very nice. Had a whopper of a head, starting to die down, and it's got this slightly tan kind of appearance to it, and this very uniform top to her. It's got a few large bubbles in it, but it's mainly this, as it dies down, it almost looks like it's a solid puff of cream. Inside, you can tell that the bubbles are ranging between large and small. However, I gotta say, that head's dying off rather slow. Oh my god, it smells good. Let's get some of the more stuff here. Oh. Off the top of that, it's got this nice fresh smell of like a nice piney citrus hop. Oh my, it's almost like this sweet, like, it's not very like an absolutely sweet kind of smell. It smells very much so like a slightly piney, but like a white grapefruit. White grapefruit with a subtle amount of sweetness. I might be able to get a better smell of this thing if I were to let the head die down. I'm going to take a small break. Alright, seriously, it's been like 5 minutes since I took a break, and the head's not dying off very quick. Propeller and Heart and Thistle are not the typical people that would use like a chemical agent to keep the head in their beer, so that must just be because of either the malts or the hops. That's an impressive head retention. Wow.
Sorry.
Crappy Europop or something.
Yeah, I got it on a metal video.
On a metal video.
Metal video.
Anyway, so it's died off a little. Let me give another try at the smell. I mean, it's basically what I got before. I'm not getting a lot of the malt sweetness from this one. Not as much as maybe I would expect from like a bitter. None of the alcohol is present in the scent, at least. But I get this nice bouquet of nice fresh grapefruit, citrus, piney hops. Maybe a tad on the flowery side too. And they're fresh smelling. Oh, that's so beautiful. They pulled out of all the stops with that smell. I like it. I like it already. And not just because it's supposed to be this absolutely fantastic beer. Anyway, moment we've all been waiting for. Let's give it a taste. Very earthy and so smooth. A light malt sweetness. Very mellow, almost like a bit like a powdery sweetness or a slight caramel. A grainy sweetness mixed in with this nice body of it's almost light and fluffy. The body of this beer is a lot lighter than I was expecting. And at 8.5%, I'm not getting any alcohol or alcohol burn in the taste. It's just nice. Now the Imperial side of things really comes out in the hops, because this is a very hoppy bugger. The hops are your typical British style, like you've got your earthy hop, you've got your what is that? Slightly copper coiny, like a little bit of like a metallic to it, but it's mostly this little bit of a peppery earthy hop, like a Fuggle or a Golding or something like that. Oh, and it's so tasty. And a slight amount of like a grapefruit citrus to that. Maybe a hint of pine. Very complex hop flavors. Oh man, that Greg Nash is a genius at getting those different hop flavors to work together just right. Wow. And I love that it doesn't sit too heavy either. This is probably one you could sit down and drink a lot of, and that's, well, the only thing that would keep you from drinking a lot of it is that the hop bitterness sits in your mouth and lingers for a long time. It's kind of like the Garrison Imperial IPA in that sense. But the taste is really nice, and the body itself of the beer is really nice, and almost got like a fluffy quality to it. It's not like a light beer by any means, nowhere near that. But for a full-bodied beer, it's deceptively drinkable. That's nice. I really like that. And finish is so dry as well. Oh wow. Ooh, dude. Oh, okay. I'm gonna sit down with this one while I can still stand up. I'll be right back. And we're back with Propeller and Heart and Thistle's Imperial ESB. So, what did I think about this beer? Wow. It tastes just like an English bitter, in my opinion, should. And it also takes that base and amplifies it quite a bit. It basically takes the British bitter style to its extreme. And that's exactly what an Imperial ESB is supposed to do. 8.5% ABV. It's definitely a strong beer. It's got a nice sweet caramel, like powdered sugar, like a backbone on this top of a nice fresh smelling bouquet of hops, and a nice earthy taste as you drink the beer. This thing is so, it's just damn delicious. I can't say enough just how great this beer is. Its appearance is beautiful. Its taste is beautiful. The smell is beautiful. It goes down nice and dry, and you really do want to sit down and drink this one. And it does exactly what it does. This beer is masterfully done. This Greg Nash, if he had a Facebook page, I'd like it. Because this beer is great. This is fantastic. He does some amazing work. I haven't had a hoppy beer that's wowed me quite so much since I drank the Big Tide collaboration beer, that Tidal Wave Double IPA. And in that sense, that one was a nice, great tasting IPA taken to its extremes. This one is a nice, great tasting ESB taken to its extremes. And this guy doesn't bring around. I really would like to see him actually produce some real beers of his own, because it would be such great craftsman-like work. It's, when it comes to the art of craft beer, this is craft. Clap, 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 clap. Okay, maybe I'm overdoing it right now, but I gotta say, I did really enjoy this beer, and I am extremely thankful to be honored by being able to try Hard Thistle and Propeller's beer. This is just absolutely delicious, and I will most likely keep this bottle for my collection. I wish they would make more of this, because, quite frankly, I would drink this on a regular basis if I had the chance, even if it is like $5 or $6 a bottle. But avast, it's probably not going to see the light of day again, so it's basically a one-off. I'm just glad to have been here in this moment of time in which this existed, and was an amazingly drinkable beer. So thank you for Heist Almighty for bringing me back one of these bottles. I'm extremely overjoyed to be able to try this particular beer. As soon as I first heard about it, I knew I had to try it, but was very doubtful, and then the beer fairy arrived. So I'm going to give this one a high 4.5 out of 5. Along the same lines of Big Tide's Tidal Wave, the Maui Coconut Porter, this comes really close to getting that magic 5 out of 5, which I've never awarded, but this is really nice. And if this happens to be available and you see it, grab it, really. Unless you're one of these people that really likes just drinking your basic craft lagers, in which case you're not going to enjoy this. And don't worry, that's a matter of personal preference. If you love if you're a hophead and you love your hoppy beers, you just like bitters, or a craft beer in general, definitely pick it up. You owe it to yourself to give this thing a try. And I doubt very many of these are left, but if you're ever so lucky, it's great. And it was a delicious, very great tasting beer. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching my special 250th episode of Maxwell Stars Beer Review. This beer gets a high 4.5 out of 5. Absolutely delicious. Enjoy the drink. And thanks for watching Maxwell Stars Beer Review. Talk to you guys later. Cheers.